welcome back everyone to Full Throttle Sim Racing Points Truck Series. We have 2 races left in this season to kick off 2022, and we're at the Lady in Black. These trucks right now in practice are they're feeling it. Seeing a lot of wall contact on turn 2 and turn 4, and we wouldn't have it any other way at Darlington. You know, the stripe counter will be counted for. At least I'm going to try my best, anyways. See what I can't count. But as always, my name is Jay, standing on the left-hand side of your screen, and to my right, as always, as well, Mr. Pashibi. Nick, man, how you doing over there?
I'm doing good, Jeremy. I'm ready to watch this, see how many Darlington stripes we get. The Lady in Black is going to sneak up there tonight and grab a couple. We saw right as we came live on TV, one of the trucks just sitting sideways in that middle of the corner. So it's going to be exciting tonight. That's all I got to say about that.
Yeah, man. It's with the points battle too. This is one of those tracks that I don't know if I'd want to try to secure my championship spot at this kind of track, because it's almost like a Daytona Talladega in the fact that anything can really happen. If there's a wreck in front of you, there's a lot of space to the bottom of the track, but if it, all the speed carries on the top, so everything washes up into that really confined racing lane that's at Darlington. So, these guys are pretty clean overall, but if there is incidents, like it could be chaotic, especially for your points leader, Bobby Trail. He's got a 30-point lead over Nicholas Casey for the final 2 races. Simon Magden has crept into the top 3. Casey McMullen, once again, does not look like he's going to be making tonight's event. Unfortunate to hear. He did miss Dover for the first week in the trucks as well. He's dropped back to 45 back. So it's really just a 2-truck battle, Kenny, with Bobby Trail and Nicholas Casey, who did finish 1 and 2 last week.
Yeah, hopefully everything's going okay with Casey McMullen with missing the last couple of weeks, but it'll be a little battle, like you said, between, you got the 2 rookies running down Bobby Terrell, who last season was your points leader basically until the chase started up and didn't have the chase run that he needed in the playoffs there. But it's looking good for him. Just got to keep it clean. I mean, we got quite a bit of trucks tonight, so there's a lot of points to be made up. But Bobby's looking good. He was, leading the leaderboard. Man, I can't speak tonight. Last I checked, looks like he's still leading the way, just over Richie Cooley, runs second, and then of course Chuck Sweeting, who's been having a great run this later half of the season, sitting in third, top of the board. Yeah,
Chuck's been just put on a hell of a show, really, for us in the back half of the season, especially. He did pretty good in the front half, but the back half, he just coming on extra strong. And if he had the finishes like he wanted, in the first half, who knows? He might be up there, and that could be, a little segue for himself entering the season number 2. Which, if you head over to FTSR.net, you will see their official schedule for the second part of 2022 that is up and live. They follow the NASCAR schedule, so if you're not familiar with that, you can always go to their site and check it out for sure. But yeah, I'm sure he's trying to build that momentum, trying to work on his stuff. Get that Gator Racing Chevrolet up to the front more and more, and that opens the door for him for next season to put on a hell of a show and run for that championship.
And then you mentioned the new schedule that's out now, Jeremy, and I was taking a look at it before we started, and it's going to be an interesting one. I mean, we're starting at Charlotte, like you said, following the schedule, but it's going to end at Daytona, and that's going to be exciting to watch. We signed on, as you mentioned, the last couple of broadcasts here for the Wednesday night series, with the Sim Racing Points. We're also going to be signed on back for Monday. I know you and Dustin are going to be back up in the booth here on Monday. So we got both of those, and it's going to be fun watching that season start in Charlotte and end in Daytona. That's going to be a fun race to decide the championship.
Yeah, breaking news for sure. We will be back with you guys. We announced it Wednesday a couple weeks ago that we're going to be coming back on Wednesdays for these truck series. But we also this week have agreed to come back on Monday as well. So we will provide you Monday and Wednesday action, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for season number 2 of 2022. So that is awesome. I'm glad we can make that happen for you guys. And you guys have been enjoying it up to this point and looking forward to the next season as well. But we've got the 2 races left across the board now for the series remaining. And like we've talked about the schedule, Darlington being awesome, and then Kansas. But yeah, that Daytona on the next one. What a way to end that thing. I just mentioned about a couple minutes ago, I wouldn't really want to, try to hold my championship at Darlington. Now that they got to do it at Daytona next season.
That's going to be, that's going to be up in the air. And if you're like Bobby Terrell right now, he's got a 30-point lead tonight. That's one where you'd want to go into Daytona having more than a 30-point lead and lock it up before you get there. So I kind of myself, I hope that we have 5 going for the championship at Daytona. I mean, that would be a lot of excitement, a lot of strategy playing, people trying to keep it back up in the front. But we'll look at that next season. That'll be fun to watch. Right now, the Bobby Terrell, Jeremy, he's looking to do what he did not manage last season. That's win the championship. So expect him. He's got a strong truck, as we see in qualifying. He's been running very fast laps. Expect him to be around that front starting spot and kind of keep up in that top 5 he can, and might even be able to walk this championship up before next week, Jeremy.
Yeah, and Nicholas Casey's running 3/10 slower, the winner of last week's race at Dover. So, and also I'm kind of going over the stats here too to kind of finalize the season out for myself. And it looks like the secret to being up front is the lack of incident points. The top 2, Bobby Terrell and Nicholas Casey, some of the fewest, I think the fewest amount of incident points within the top 10, even top 20, really. So if you need a little secret to get up to the front, probably should stay away from those X's that iRacing hands out. But that being said, qualifying is out and underway. So that means, as always, we have those people to thank that allow us to do this for you guys every Monday and Wednesday at 9 p.m. for Full Throttle Sim Racing. And thanks again, as always, to the league themselves, fullthrottlesimracing.net, or shortcut, just FTSR.net. You got 2 more weeks, and then they have just a single off-season week, and then they're back in full swing for season number 2 of 2022. So please go sign up on their website if you want to partake in this action here. You got the schedule posted for a Saturday night. Lotus 79 and Super Dirt Truck, the Pro 4s, they're going to be running staggering weeks in one series on Saturday. Then you got looks like the ARCA Sim Racing is going to be up as well with a pretty awesome schedule. We were just going over that, and that looks amazing. And, of course, the Monday and Wednesday Truck and Cup Series. So sign up at FTSR.net. And then Sim Racing Points, the official sponsor of tonight's race and partnered recently with Nerditudes. Glad to have him on board, and it's an all-inclusive league points management system. Essentially, if you just go to FTSR.net, any stat page that you look at through the series, the points, just the driver list, anything, that's all based off that software. And it's super clean, easy to read, customizable with widgets on your website, or you can do the full page. It's whatever you want there. And they have great prices as well. So go to simracingpoints.com and check out all their pricing plans to get your league up and running, and styling too, with how they display everything. It's awesome. And then Martin Sports, appreciate you guys. They're the home of the sim gloves of all of sim racing. Most breathable, durable gloves in the sim racing world. But they don't stop there. They also make customized T-shirts, hoodies, hats, nerd swag. It's up for pre-order. They got some sick gloves, the gauntlet-style gloves that go up a little bit over your wrists. They're pretty cool. It's a little nerdy feel. It's got a little digital wristwatch. That's you don't really see that on any type of glove, printed anyway. So head over to martinsports906.com. You're going to use Super Nerd at checkout for 25% off anything that you purchase from him. Also, thank you to iRacing iFlag. iRacingIFlag.com. It's the official flag partner of Nerditudes. Essentially, it's a 64 light emitting diode LED system. It's a 4x6 3D printed device that sits on your desk and gives you all of the commands that your spotter would typically give you, whether there's a caution out, green flag, checker flag, or like someone's high or low, or it's gonna point arrows to you. It's gonna flash colors for the flag. Tells you everything you need to know in just a little simple unit. So you don't have to pay attention to the spotter. Like, this thing's super bright. It keeps your focus on the racetrack and completes the sim rig, really. So head over to iRacingIFlag.com. Super Nerd at checkout, 15% off of his products. And thank you to the Butt Kicker as well, official audio enhancement provider of Nerditudes. It's that unit that gives the gamer a deep immersion feeling. It brings your rig into the racetrack. You feel the bumps and your car and your seat move, and it feels like you're actually there. It's one of a kind product, really. And it brings that much needed feel that gives you the peak performance that you're looking for. So if you're wanting to experience something like that, you're going to go to thebuttkicker.com, purchase that product, and Nerd TV at checkout, you get 20% off anything that you purchase. And then thank you to Nerd Focus. It's going to be, you go to nerdfocus.com. Use promo code NERDTV for 10% off of their 2 flavors. We got them at the Nerd headquarters. They got the green flavor you see on your screen right now. That's your sugar variant. And then the blue label is your sugar-free. Both really tasty, easy to drink, and they keep you hyper-focused without the crash, especially with that sugar-free version. So if you're trying to complete a long race or you're just trying to complete homework, either way, that's a great product to use. You're going to go to nerdfocus.com, Super Nerd rather, 10% off of their drinks. And then Moonlight Speed Concepts. That's the official asphalt setup provider of Nerditudes. Head over to moonlightspeed.com, sign up, join the Discord group. It's a great community over there, and they provide the fastest professional setups on any asphalt surface for oval side that you could think of. The setups are just amazing. I use them for myself, and let me tell you, I suck at some tracks, and they've brought me wins. So if you can do it for me, you can definitely do it for you. Moonlightspeed.com. And then also, if you're a dirt fan watching this, you're going to head over to thehouseofspeed.us, and you're going to find them on Twitter and on their website. Join their Discord as well. Same thing as the Moonlight. They're great guys, professional-like setups across the board for any dirt oval that you race. And they'll get you some W's, and they drive really good. Even for the amateur up to the professional, they feel awesome. They will not let you down. All right, Kenny, race, the grid's underway. And so if you want to head over to the top 10 and listen through.
Yep, starting where he finished out in practice there, Bobby Terrell is going to take the pole position here, running a 29.14, right with Brody Hannon on his outside starting second. Teammate Richie Coy is going to be starting third. Quad Furlan starting fourth. Running off in fifth is going to be Chris Stouffer. Sixth is Jeff Langston. Seventh is Chuck Sweeting. Eighth is Mark Dubril. Ninth, Alex Murphy. And 10th, Sylvain Jolly.
Starting at 11th is Andrew Palicki. 12th place, you're going to find Steven Room in that 00. 13th place, Jonathan Varanaskis. 14th place will be Sherwood Williford. 15th place will be Lane Allen. 16th place will be Kevin Rupert. Finding in 17th is going to be Simon Magden, who's third in points. Kind of weird to see him back there at this point, but hopefully he can get up there and contend up for the lead. 18th place, you're going to find Nicholas Casey. 19th place, Martin Garreau. And around out the top 20 is Tony Solari. Everybody else did not qualify. 21st on back, and that's going to be Wayne Grassi, 21st. 22nd, Gil Gawk. 23rd, Kenneth Scholes. 24th, Tommy Brandon. 25th, Luke Brown. And around out tonight's 26th truck field, Steve Looms.
Yeah, another one you mentioned there, Jeremy, Nicholas Casey starting right behind Simon. So both of those running second and third in points, starting towards the back. So maybe just a bad qualifying effort, and we'll see him up front competing up here with Bobby Terrell.
Yeah, we'll have to find out. Bobby is just setting a huge, awesome pace in practice and in qualifying. So he's got that 30-point buffer. We've got 2 races left in the season. He's looking like definitely the one to pick, unless Mr. Nicholas Casey can find some luck back there. Maybe kind of swap that thing around and get that thing to the front. But right now, Bobby Terrell setting an awesome pace for himself, putting the pressure on Casey to make a move.
Yeah, he's just, we've watched Bobby Terrell do this all season where he's just nice and smooth, skidding up front, being pretty consistent. He's got 2 wins on the season, but he's got 8 top 10, 7 top 5s, and 11 starts. So he's been consistent, like you mentioned, with incident points. 39, I think that's one of the lowest. There's only just one other one, right? I think that's a little lower. So he's doing what you need to do to be up in the position he's in.
Yeah, that's one way to do it, is to stay away from the wrecks, right? The fewer the wrecks you're in, the more of a chance that you put yourself to find a better finishing spot, and which will also help your points. So, that being said, pace car has dipped down. That means we're waiting for the green flag, Mr. Late Larry or Premature Patrick or whatever you want to name the flagman at this point. It's up for discretion, but here he is, patiently waiting.
Green flag.
Bobby Terrell gets the official green flag from iRacing. He gets an excellent start over the 23 Brody Hannon. It's going to allow Richie Coyne, that 19, that driver that really dominated Dover last week. He's going to be trying to make an early move. Does not get to Bobby or Brody Hand rather, and they're going to single file out for top 5.
That was a great start for Bobby Terrell. I mean, Brody handed. Oh, we got one sideways off on the backstretch. Is going to save. We got 2 around there on the backstretch, Jeremy. 2 of them looks like they're on the inside wall there. That's the 31 that went around. And I saw one more right behind them.
Number 86, Nicholas Casey, your second place points contender. Him and the 81 look like they both went around, and it looks like the 86. I caught him more so than the other guy. 31, I'm sorry. But yeah, it looked like the 86 Nicholas Casey just got loose all by himself. Self-spun there, and the 31 as Alex Murphy as well. Same deal going back to it. You're going to see it right here on their TV. Just kind of touches that little seam there just below the white dashed line and got loose. Corrected and think everything that he did not overcorrect it too hard up into the field. It looked like he did turn right, was able to keep it down at the bottom of the track and kept everything clean.
Yeah, that was a nice. I mean, when he saw it come back up, I thought maybe he was going to come right back up to the track there, but he was able to hold on to it and save it. And then, yeah, right behind him, you mentioned it was the Nicholas Casey there, that 86 truck. He just kind of right down to the inside as well. We're going to see right here on their TV. He's going to be coming off of 2. And just same thing, caught that groove, and unfortunately for Nick, well, definitely a harder hit, and didn't get as fortunate there as the 31 of Alex Murphy.
Yeah, I actually didn't see the contact, so I was trying to figure out where the 2 trucks were at the same time, and that is unfortunate. That it, like we said at the beginning, that's your second place guy in points, Mr. Nicholas Casey. Now he's got heavy nose damage here to start off lap number 1. Definitely something he was not looking forward to at all. Just 10 points behind him is Simon Magden. So even for a podium spot in the championship race, he's still got 10 points to kind of secure over Simon Magden. So crew's definitely looking forward to get that truck fixed as fast as they can, get him back to speed so he can kind of contend for the points here.
Yeah, hopefully he can get something fixed on it or enough damage to at least compete somewhat a little up there. But that's going to definitely hurt Nicholas. Simon, he's enjoying that, though. He knows that's going to be a lot of ground gain, and as we mentioned in the start, we had 24 trucks take the field. That's going to put him back in 24, so plenty of room to gain there, especially if you're just starting for second or fighting for second in the championship. And that means something. You're battling it out. You got Casey McMullen, he was sitting in 45th, but they got to watch out. He's got Richie Coy, who was 9 points behind him, so he's still competing for that top 3 in the championship with Casey not making it tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. This is true. Yeah, he's 19 points, as you said, and just like the number on his door, and over Nicholas Casey, or under rather. So yeah, he could, the way he's been running recently too. I know he's always fast, but when he had like a Dover weekend where he just kind of sweeped everyone, kind of dominated the racetrack. If you could do something like that, even like a Darlington per se, he's going to put himself in a good chance. Yeah, he will find himself, battling for even close second in points. So we'll have to see if how that plays out for him. But he's doing all the right moves, Kenny, to get himself in position.
Yeah, he's definitely fighting for it, and looks like we're having a little bit of trading paint issues, but we're going to get that fixed as we see more of these white trucks disappear and actually start getting the paint shows back in. So might just see a little white trucks going around for a little bit, but they'll come in one by one. But Jeremy, I think we're gonna get this restart here. I think we got one to go after this time by here. So saw Bobby Trail get a good start there, as I was mentioning, and good for him that Brody Hand was on the outside of him, because Brody came over right before the start, said he's not going to push it, taking it easy. So that's what Bobby needed to hear. All he did is hit his marks and got right in line, and had nothing to worry about going to 1 and 2. So we'll see what happens on this restart.
I think someone just threw a bucket of white paint out there and kind of splashed half the field. That's what it looks like. So, but that will get cleaned up, here just real shortly. Had to do a refresh, I guess, on the producer's end, which caused that. Which it's technology. Sometimes things happen, but we'll keep you updated on where everyone's running, so you can tell one white truck from another. If you know your manufacturers, you can still kind of see what's a Chevrolet, what's a Ford, what's a Toyota. So they're not too disguised. It's like wearing snow camo, that orange, while you're in the forest. You can still kind of see who's who. But yeah, we got about half a lap left before these guys hit the green flag, and let's see if they can get at least one green flag run this time. But this track is looking actually pretty loose. We saw 2 trucks, even Nicholas Casey self-spin. So I guess anything's really possible.
Turn 2's been that, as practice we saw, it's been that treacherous corner. So I think it's going to continue over. And I also heard Brody, he's going to be taking it easy again. So that's what we'll expect Bobby here. They're going to do a great jump again.
Yeah, Bobby's playing the easy card. He knows that Bobby Trail is, or Brody rather, he knows that Bobby is super fast right now. So why push anything? And just letting everybody know, hey, I'm not going to go super fast here on the start. But green flag is out. Bobby with another great start. Brody Hanna's going to fall to second, and let's see if Richie Coy makes a pass to his teammate. He does not. They're going to single file out for the top three, fourth and fifth at 13 and 43.
Yeah, great
side
running
by
on
side.
the corner, and the turn there is 1 and 2. As we come off, we'll see how we straighten out this one. Looks like everyone's keeping it straight off at 2. No one's going on the inside. That's great as we're heading into 3 and 4 for the first time under green flag conditions here. Bobby Trail looks like he's going to lead this first green flag lap, Jeremy, as he's coming off the 4 with a head of steam behind him.
Looking strong as throughout the entire session so far. Got himself a 2 truck length advantage entering turn number 1, and this top 5 or 6 or so have really kind of spaced out. It's about that 2 truck length advantage over one another. We're starting to see some guys in midfield a little closer to each other. 19 Richie Coy gets a little loose off the exit of turn number 2, no problem. Right now, a little battle here between teammates here. That 88 Mark DeBrule and that 08 of Sylvain Jolly.
Yeah, everyone just through the field kind of singled out, and either 1 to 2 truck links behind each other, and you see a little look here on the inside as they're looking going into turn 1 and 2, see if he holds it. No, he's gonna not be able to make it, but yeah, still under attack though. The 88 of Mark DeBrule, so we might see a little switch there for position, but as I think they're letting their tires kick in and before they kind of go at it, but we're gonna start seeing some moves here shortly, and I think we'll see some with people mess up on the corner entry or exit, Jeremy. We're gonna see a lot of people taking advantage of it.
Oh yeah, for sure, and we're gonna see some stripes. We're gonna see a couple of different things happen as the race progresses and these tires start to wear out. This track has gotten bumpier over the time, and as always with any surface, actually gets used more and more. But I did mention that Sylvain Jolly and Mark DeBrille were neck and neck, but now all of a sudden, 88's caught himself really far back. We see some guys kind of shuffling down to the inside. Looked like Mark DeBrille was one of them. Got a little messed up there on turn number 2, no problem. He kept that going straight, and Jeff Langston really out there getting loose on the bottom.
Got a little sideways there as he came off a 2 and he straightened it up though, so that was a good one. Lost 1 spot only, not too bad, but yeah, Mark DeBrille, he's kind of going back, Jeremy, and not where he wants to go in a good way. So hopefully he can kind of get that thing in line. But turn 2, it's still giving people some issues.
Yeah, these tires they should be warmed up by now, but some of these guys like to run a really loose setup to kind of set themselves up for the long run. But yeah, so far, it's Darlington, right? You don't want to push the issue too early, so keeping that space is one of those smart moves you can do out here.
Yeah, definitely. And you see that too. We have the top 3. They're kind of even with each other over the rest of the 3 there, but after about 6th place, they're starting to spread out even more. So as this run goes on, you're going to see a little bit further gaps on everyone, and then of course as tire wear goes, and the lady in black's going to sneak up and grab a couple. We should see some changes. We haven't seen that, or at least I haven't seen it yet, Jeremy. I haven't seen the Darlington stripe take over this race, but I'm sure we'll have one soon.
I have a great camera angle, especially off of turn number 2, that kind of gives me a straight line down the wall shot, so I can see if I can pick up anyone, at least coming off turn 2 for that matter. But yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you. I've not seen anybody in particular hit that wall just yet. Got to keep a tally though, because as with Darlington, even in the mid corners, you run right up against that wall, so it's only inevitable before someone washes up a little too much and hits that thing. Yeah,
and it's been close. It's not you don't want to see someone hit the wall, but it's just Darlington. You expect that it's going to happen. It's going to grab you, and some are going to be softer than others. It just depends on that momentum you're taking, but it's not uncommon to get one. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. We'll see on here on Nerd TV. Great show. Oh, there's one right there, as we were just talking about. That's the curse, I guess, we put out there. But that's the hit you don't want to see. That was actually a little decent hit coming there off of 2.
Martin Garreau in the number 50 just slammed it as we were talking about it. So, it's that broadcaster's curse. We have to talk about it, though. It is Darlington. It's infamous for that. So, but he did find the wall. Like you said, pretty heavy contact. We saw some sparks fly. That truck shifted kind of hard, and you can kind of see that damage there right around the door number area of that number 50 Chevrolet. So, right now, it doesn't look like it's hurting his performance too much, though.
Yeah, it looks like he only lost the positions from the initial contact there. So, see if we have, caution that might bring out the yellow flag and get that under repair. If not, he'll try to get it done as best he can there under green flag conditions. But as we know here, a little bit there. Looks like Richie Coy there coming off a 2. Jeremy had a little bit of contact, went low, and then now he's blinking out. So hopefully we're not having some issues with him, and he can hold into it. But he's going to lose a few spots. He's lost about 3 spots after coming off a 2 there.
Yeah, hopefully everything's okay there. I heard some reports, some people blinking as well, so it looks like a couple of different issues are going on. Looks like I got a quick tally on the 00 for getting a little tiny tap on the wall. Didn't really hurt anything. Yeah, Richie Coy complaining that someone out there is maybe blinking. Trying to figure out who that is. He's talking about himself. Yeah. I haven't seen it personally, but
yeah, he was blinking on my ends, and he was asking if anyone else saw him blinking. So he. A little bit on my end at least, but he looks like he's under control now. Yeah, Chuck's over there saying he's fine. So hopefully it was just something little because he lost a few spots there pretty quick.
A couple of great battles too on the track, the 88 and the 00. You're seeing it on your screen. The 00 looks like he's getting a little bit more loose as this run is progressing. And it's backing him up now to the 14 as well of Lane Allen trying to get around him. You just see him in that Mountain Dew, but now he's running the Bass Pro. Semi-chrome looking Chevrolet. Truck's looking pretty awesome, I would say, but good little battle here to kind of round outside the top 10. A little contact, and actually big contact. End of the wall, the 00, the 14 and the 33-7.
No contact. Oh, he's rolling down there.
Whew. Who else is at the 30? The 35 as well. Tommy Brandon, his second start in the Truck Series, also involved. Second caution on lap number 18 is out, and it looks about 6 or 7 trucks can. Huge wreck.
That was a hard hit there, too, by the 14 of Wayne Allen on the inside wall, and came up and collected Wayne Gracias. He tried to avoid it, and then, as you said, the newcomer there had just nowhere to go. And what I thought was just going to be possibly a 2, maybe 3 truck wreck ended up being about 6 or 7. Look at that. It just threw him back up on the track. That's unfortunate.
Man, yeah, that number 7 of Wayne Grass, he thought he had that window, then they washed back up the track, and the 14 just destroyed his left rear, threw him into the 00 to make things worse, and then that 35, Tommy Brandon just came in and straight up T-boned Steven Vrooman. So I don't know if he's going to get the thing repaired. He got hit so many times right there.
Yeah, that was, he almost got by, and then, whew. Yep, just... Look at Steven. I thought he was going to roll for a second there, but he was able to just keep it going. And I was just about to comment as they were sitting there on the high side. You could see Steven got into the wall a couple of times because he had that Darlington stripe going already. But yeah, it looked like the 14 just got a little bit too much and took out quite a few trucks after that.
Yeah, it's not a good view when someone's cockpit. You can see the fire extinguishers inside the cockpit of another driver through the side window. That's such a heartbreak for these guys out here that have been putting in countless laps getting these things set up, and 2 trucks is all it takes. Darlington, like I said, it was happening on the front stretch, so there's a little more room there to work around. But when things wash up, they wash up quick, and you're trying to set yourself up for the top portion of the corner ahead of you, and it's terrible to see it. Hopefully, they can get most of their trucks back up and running at least to competitive speed. Yeah, that's 7 trucks with some pretty significant damage.
And we were just saying, get a caution for some of these guys, come down, get some of that damage repaired. We mentioned the 50 of Martin Garreau. He's one of them. He's still sitting on pit road. Wayne Grass, he's still on pit road. 14, the 33, the 00, the 31. All of them are getting the repairs right now. Tony Soares coming off. You even got the 21 and the 19 of Richie Coy. We know he had a little bit of wall contact. So we have quite a few trucks, Jeremy, sitting on pit road right now getting repaired as much time as they can.
Yeah, might as well. The pace lights are still out on the car, so take your time. Do what you got to do to get that thing up and running. It looks like they got 2 more laps of cautions before these guys go back to green flag. So, yeah, do what you got to do to get that thing repaired because this track, it is aerodynamic dependent. So, you want to be at your peak performance here, especially with this group of guys here at Full Throttle Sim Racing.
Yeah, never underestimate that. And looks like we still got 4 on pit road, so we're gonna have quite a few that's gonna be going some laps down there. But it looks like everyone else was able to get off. But that's our second caution tonight, Jeremy. We're 20 laps in, second caution. I think these guys, they might need some focus.
You know what? One way to get focus?
We drink it.
That's right. And you're going to go over to nerdfocus.com Use that code right between the two cans on your left-hand side of your screen. That Super Nerd. Get you 10% off of their 2 drinks. You see both of their flavors on the screen. The blue, of course, is sugar-free that you know at this point. And the green one on the right, that's your sugar. Your all-natural, normal flavor they have. Both of them are super tasty, though. They got them in the Nerd headquarters. Swear by it. It's a great product. Nerdfocus.com. Super Nerd at checkout. 10% off any drinks that you purchase. That will bring us Super Nerd. That's what we are over here. That's why we're rocking Nerditudes, Nerd TV, having Nerd Focus. Like, can't get enough.
Bunch of nerds. That's all.
Nerd candies. You can talk to us later if you want.
Nerd ropes. I mean, we can keep going.
That's right. We got a whole collage we can have going over here, but any support that we get, or just in general, really appreciate all their support. But nice aerial view here, a little drone action shot. I have not seen this personally myself, but I think that might be one of our producer, Mr. Dustin, that free floating camera. If you can keep doing that, I love this shot right here. It's looking super cool.
It's like one of the drone shots they have now.
Yeah, they're on one of the Fox screens that you get when you watch one of the races right now.
Yep.
Pretty legit shot, but these guys are going back to green. We gotta keep focus again on what's going on front. Bobby Trail, of course, setting the standard for tonight's event. Brody Hanna in second place also, hasn't changed spots at all. Same people on the front row, 22 laps in. You see Larry with the green flag out. Green flag. Actually, he did wave it before they crossed the line. That's pretty impressive, I must say, for Mr. Larry. But Bobby Trail is going to take back the top spot here. Brody Hanna is going to fall back in a second. Claude Ferland found his way up into third. It's going to bring Chuck Sweeting to fourth. And he does clear the number 27, Jonathan Varanauskas, who did start 13th, Kenny. He's already moved 8 spots, found himself in the top 5.
Yeah, Jonathan, ever since he got that win, earlier in the season, he's been on a tear. Missed a couple of races, but he's, back at it tonight. And, we got a little truck there. Looks like, I think that might be there's a green and yellow. It might be Mark that went on the inside there, but he was able to collect it and get back in line. Yeah, that's going to be the 88 there. Lost quite a few spots, but was able to save it. But back in the single file is you're going to see Bobby Terrell still leading as they're coming off of 2 right now, Jeremy. And I don't think we have any. Now everyone's kind of single filed for. Well, we got one on here on their TV.
Yeah, Mark DeBrio trying to get some of his spots that he just lost back, and that truck is looking loose all over the place. He washes up right there, got close quarters with Kenneth Schull, and when he got loose that last lap, that was right in front of your second place in points, Mr. Nicholas Casey. So that got really close too, right in the middle of the corner. So thankfully nothing came about that. But Mark DeBrio, yeah, he's going to be trying to gain these spots back, and his truck is still a little loose there on next to the turn number 2. He's got some work to do on that truck to get that thing up and running to where he needs it to be.
And I think Richie might have took off the first 2 restarts, but he didn't take off that last restart, and he was on it with Bobby, and he kept it pretty close compared to the first 2 that we saw, and he's putting a little fight here with them. He's trying to keep it close to Bobby, and maybe he was just trying to fill it out for a little bit and see how this truck performed on the new tires, and after they we got a one up in the wall there, but he was able to get off. That's going to be your 5th place of Jonathan Varanauskas there. But Brody's keeping up with Bobby on this run here, Jeremy.
Yeah, he's doing a pretty solid job at it. And yep, that was Varanauskas up on that wall, able to get off real quick. But the 46, Simon Magden did pass him, no problem. As well as the 13 of Chris Stouffer. So he lost 2 spots on that exchange. Hopefully he doesn't have to do that again. But that tallies up to about 3 or 4 of those Darlington stripes now.
Yeah, and who knows how many there we didn't even see that came off there too. So she's adding up quick. We're going to see that paint just wear off and see more and more of those black stripes up there. So, she's out tonight. But we got a little battle here, Jeremy. Looks like sitting back there for top 5th position. And we also got a battle for 7th. So those 4 trucks right there, as we see on their TV. Simon Magden, Christopher. Christopher was able to get by Nicholas Casey there. And Nicholas actually was able to get around Jonathan. So Jonathan's lost a couple spots here, Jeremy, ever since that little contact with the wall. Yeah,
these trucks, they want to be aerodynamic dependent, and if you take away anything, against the truck and add some, side damage, takes away some of that side force and makes your truck really tight, might be helpful to some people out there, but typically speaking, it will slow up the truck. Just because it gets tight, that means you have to lift more because they run right up against this wall here, as you know, at Darlington. So if you have to lift a little bit more, that's just more speed that's scrubbed off these corners, but Quick shout out to Simon Magden as he's defending his spot now over Chris Stouffer to hold the top 5. He started 17th and he's up to top 5. And I think that he's had that for almost 10 laps now. So it only took him about 20 laps to get up there.
And Nicholas Casey's been falling right behind him. He started in 18th, and he's sitting back 2 spots in 7th there. So those two have kind of been making their way up through the field tonight, gaining 11 to 12 spots, looking at 23 between the two of them. So they're showing why they're, second and third in points right now. They're trying to get up there with Bobby Terrell and make it a battle, and they might have the truck right now to do it, Jeremy. So we'll see where they make it, but they're definitely coming up as we see Christopher making a pass here on Simon Magden. I think Nicholas Casey's going to try to follow in behind him.
Yep, Magden slips up just enough for Christopher to get underneath them, and it kind of opens the door up for some people. Casey is looking to take that spot from Simon Magden in 6th place, but it looks like Temporarily is going to fall back here and kind of wait in line in 7th place and see if he can get his next opportunity.
In this battle, what's doing is letting Sylvain Jolly creep up a little bit closer to these guys, and then your 4th and 3rd place trucks back here, that they're actually of Chuck Sweeting and Claude Furlan. They're pulling away from that group. So with those 4 trucks battling out, you got this top group pulling away and that back group getting closer. So it's changing the little dynamic of the track right now with everybody kind of racing in the middle of the pack.
As you saw that white truck on your screen about a minute ago, the 08 Sylvain Jolly, I guess he hasn't loaded in just yet. He's the only white truck out there on the field on the broadcast side anyway, so that will be Sylvain Jolly until his purple skin that you all know by now does load up in that Team Accent LED Toyota Tundra. The battle really is, 2nd and 3rd, or 1st and 2nd rather than 3rd and 4th. Pretty close battle, as you mentioned, with Claude and Chuck right now. Hammer it out, and then Simon Magden and Nicholas Casey only 2/10 separate them two. So, and really 7th through 9th, pretty good battle overall.
Yeah, and I kind of want to mention back with after the couple cautions we had, looks like we got about 19 trucks on the lead lap right now. We've had a few of them that's actually disconnected because they just have too much damage to carry on. The 35 of Tommy Brandon, he's going to be out of this race early. Lane Allen's still sitting on pit road. He's out of the truck, though. Sherwood Wolford, he's gone. He went ahead and backed out. Stephen Verman's on pit road, but he's out of the truck. And then Alex Murphy as well. He backed out. So, unfortunately for those 5 guys, they're going to be done for the night. But that's still going to leave us with 19. So, we still got plenty on the track and plenty more action to bring you.
Yeah, it's going to knock out everyone on the that's not on the lead lap, minus Wayne Grass, who just pitted down pit road. That's the first truck to pit. Little early pit, I would say, but it's going to put him 1 lap down. The only truck that's 1 lap down at this point. He's going to get maybe some 4 fresh Goodyears and a little damage repaired while he's sitting down pit road, because he was one of those trucks that had heavy contact in that last track.
Yeah, and he actually, I was kind of looking at him out here on pit road, and he ended up getting out of the truck, so we'll see what happens. He's back into it, so maybe he's just getting some more damage repaired and wasn't up to speed as much as he'd like. Maybe get it fixed up and get back up to speed, but that's going to put him, like I said, a lap down. I'm sure many more to go. Still leading the way, though. Bobby Terrell over Brody Hanna. They've been still fighting it out. They've been keeping within about a half a second of each other. So, we've seen this before with Brody, where he kind of sits back and waits and relax, and then 20, 15 to go, he's up front leading the way, and we're talking to him in victory lane. So don't be surprised if he sneaks one in on him.
Yeah, you definitely keep an eye out for that. We got 110 laps here, and we're just on lap 37, so plenty of time. My eyes are still kind of peeled on 8th and 9th place right now. Simon Magden and Sylvain Jolly. Only about a 10th or 2 separates these 2 trucks. Put on a hell of a performance here, side by side, or nose to nose rather. And then, Sylvain's he's chilling. Like, I think he's almost trying to force that mistake. It is really tough to pass here because there's such a large amount of asphalt on this track in the corners, especially, but only a 10th of it's for the racing groove. So you really just have to kind of force the issue sometimes to get around people here. Yeah,
and sorry to kind of get the side there. We had a battle a little further back, 13th and 14th. You had Andrew Pawlicki and the 21 here of Jeff Langston. They were going around Gil Gawk and having a little battle there, and ended up touching Gil just a little bit, and that put him up into the wall and gave him some damage, and he fell back, and he's losing a little bit more positions right in front of Richie Coy. So not what Richie wanted to see. Little battle there, but Gil Gawk unfortunately got the worst of it.
Yeah, went back and took a look at that as you were just talking about it, and yeah, just subtle contact. But as I mentioned before, the racing surface is not wide, so he made that contact and only shoved him up one truck length to his outside, and that was just enough to put him in the wall. You see a bunch of that damage right there on that free floating camera there on his right side. Huge damage. That's probably going to tighten that truck up a lot and maybe scrub a little bit of speed. So that crew's going to be looking forward to getting that thing repaired on his next pit stop.
Yeah, I think you're correct because you can already see it. Yeah, he just came over the radio right now saying this thing won't turn. Let Tony Sawari go by. So definitely feeling the effect. And kind of, I flip back to the race you were watching, Jeremy, between Sylvain Jolly and Simon Magin, and they got close here coming off of 2, and that's going to drop Simon Magin back. Ooh, Sylvain Jolly's up in the wall there in 3 and 4. He's going to collect himself a stripe and move on. But that dropped Simon Magin 3 spots there with keeping it closer off of 2.
You also watched Simon Magin get really loose last time by on turn number 2. That thing was about a 30-degree angle coming off the corner. Able to maintain it though. Probably going to scrub a little bit of tire wear, a little bit of tread off those wheels. So got to keep those tires in good condition. It's really tough to do that at Darlington, but these trucks right now, Kenny, are just, some of them look really good and others just look like they need a lot of work.
Yeah, and there's only, 4. The tire set limit for the race is 4 tonight. So, you mentioned just a second ago we have about 110 laps. We're coming up on halfway. We had 1 pit stop so far. So far so good. But you don't want to wear them down any more than you have to because you want to hold on to those, especially here at Darlington. Bobby Tyrrell, as we see here on Nerd TV, he's putting a little gap here on Brody Hanna, Jeremy. He's up to about 1.5 seconds. So that setup that Bobby's got is just practice, qualifying, race, whichever setup he's putting in that thing is rolling.
May the 4th tires be with you. Got to carry him all the way to the end, and if you can make that happen, for sure. And it looks like a huge checkup here with Sylvain Jolly, and the 0-8, and then the one of Kevin Rupert kind of brought Kenneth Scholes and Simon Magden really up close to him. They went in turn 1 side by side, and they had a huge checkup to make sure they didn't make any wall contact. But that brought in the 91, who's trying to make that pass now on Sylvain Jolly, trying to take it their Ford F-150 and just gets enough to clear Sylvain Jolly. That's going to move him up to 8th.
I love the Star Wars reference there, Jeremy. I'm a big Star Wars guy, and that was a nice little one you got in there. But yeah, great battle here. Sylvain, between these guys, this last 10 laps, they've been throwing it out. Sylvain Jolly, Simon Magin especially, but Kenneth Schultz, he came in from the back, so he's sneaking his way in through, taking advantage. And some of these guys are probably wearing those tires down a little bit from battling it out as much as they are. And Kenneth Schultz was just able to take over for it.
Kenneth Schultz saw that spot from the 0-8 open up, and he was like, this is the way. So he did make that pass there cleanly. A little loose, but he still made it happen. But yeah, that secures him in 9th place currently, and everybody else, for the most part, still side by side.
The puns are stopped with this guy.
That's all I know. So I'm sure there's going to be more on this broadcast for sure, because it is, it's May 4th. So speaking of May 4th, it wouldn't work any other way if Bobby Tyrrell wasn't in the lead, because his truck is number 4. So he's got a lot of things going for him, I would imagine here.
Yeah, it's a good thing it's not tomorrow, because then Return of the Sith would have, taken over. So, but we don't have a number 5 car, so we'll be okay on that. But yeah, he's just dominating performance right now. As we see, Jeff Langston's having some issues. I've noticed he was in the wall 2 laps ago. Kind of ever since that little incident that he had about 10 or 15 laps ago, he's trying to get this thing going, and you can see the Darlington stripe there on the side. So he's been in the wall a couple of times, but still keeping up with the battle here between all these guys, and none of them want to give up on this. This is just a great image right here. Just great shot here by Justin, just coming right off of that turn and right up against the wall, a little bit sideways there. I could just watch this one all race.
Speaking of which, this is a great segue to, let's go to Nerd Enhanced Audio Racing Decibel, to bring all the, I said audio, that does not stay Nerd, it's Nerd Enhanced Racing Decibels. We can continue with that camera shot too, and then some other awesome ones that he has provided for us, with just the sounds and the sights of these trucks at Darlington without our voices. So crank up that audio. We'll be back in a few short laps. guys, that was the Nerd Enhanced Racing Decibels, aka Nerd. Like to bring you all the sounds at an amplified volume to your ears, because these trucks do sound awesome. By the way, the chat system's open. And it looks like it's been kind of quiet tonight. So everyone who is watching out there, I know there's some out there. Please give a shout out, man. Say something in the chats. We can interact with you while live on the broadcast. It's kind of cool. Not a lot of people kind of do that. So chats are open no matter where you're streaming this race at. So feel free. It's on Facebook. It's on YouTube. It's on Twitch. So wherever you're listening, man.
Yeah, we had a couple while we were listening to the nerd there. We had Brody Hanna, Chuck Sweeting right behind him. They've, Bobby's put on a pace. He's 4.5 seconds above these guys now, so he's still kind of taking in charge of that. But Chuck's all over the back of Brody, as we see here on Nerd TV. So I expect Chuck to be possibly sitting in that second place. And then you got Nicholas Casey back there in fourth, and Chris Stover rounding out the top 5.
Yeah, I noticed that Brody was kind of falling back a little bit, and he has still. I'm surprised Chuck hasn't got around him yet, but Chuck's been really patient. Right there, dead on the back bumper of 23, and then actually the 23 Brody Hanna did just play it wise and said, "Hey Chuck, I know you're faster. Go ahead and go around me." So new second place in that Gator Racing Chevrolet, Mr. Chuck Sweeting. And Skidmark, shout out to you. Saying something took me literal. I love it.
He said, "Hey, here it is. You wanted something. There it is." As we see, Chuck Sweeting going to take that second spot. Going to ride right up against that wall. Brody Hanna kind of sitting down a little bit lower. Bobby Trail's loving what he sees right now. He's probably hoping this thing can just finish out green, because he knows he has the truck to keep it going there, especially out in the clean air. That's where he's been all night. I think he's probably led every single lap, Jeremy, if I'm not mistaken. So, just overall, so far so good. We're just over halfway in this race. We've got about 50 laps left. So still plenty of time, but so far so good for Bobby Trail.
5-second lead for that number 4. And you are correct. Mr. Bobby Terrell has led every single lap, all 60 of currently run 60 laps. Just really impressive stuff here from that number 4 camp. It's exactly what he wants to see too. What a better way to set off into the sunset. Essentially, if you can keep this run going for another 49 laps, he's got a 30-point lead over Nicholas Casey. Nicholas Casey currently running, if I look at my stats here, he's kind of running the back. 13th place. So, that's about a 40-point gap entering the final race, which is untouchable. So, if this pace that's up and running, it's going to be a fun event for him next week at Kansas.
Yeah, it's just going to be have fun and go at it. As we see here, Nicholas Casey coming down, making his green flag pit stop. That's going to be the first green flag pit stop of the night for him. See if he brings down some others. I wouldn't be surprised once one comes down. We start seeing a few others follow suit. So he might start a trend here. That's going to put Claude Furlan back into that 5th place position there. And Nicholas Casey's going to have some ground to make up. Now, I know he's got a little bit different fuel strategy going on, I think, because he had that accident. But they might have got back on track. I'm not sure. I have to look back at it. But he's going to be the first one down, Jeremy.
Yeah, trying to get that advantage on the 4 fresh tires, and sometimes it works. Sometimes it kind of bites you in the butt if you have to run a really long run, because then your tires are older than everybody else's. So we'll see how well that works for that number 86. He's got to do what he's got to do to try to make anything happen, right? He knows he's back there in the pack, and he's not really progressing. So the best way to do that is try to shortcut your pit. Try to maximize that time on those fresh tires before everybody else starts coming down. It could make or break a strategy here. Yeah,
we'll have to keep an eye on him, see how that plays out. See Tony Solar letting, looks like Bobby Trail go by with ease, no problem on that. With Chuck Sweeting, Jeremy, he's got about 1.5 seconds over top of Brody Hanna once he got by him. So Chuck again showing that strong run here at the later part of the season, and with most of these races, I can see kind of Chuck, the later part of the race, his truck or car just comes in and he starts running blistering pace.
Yeah, it looks like that Chuck Sweeting truck is, he's found hashtag get a grip. So I want to do a quick shout out to Martin Sports 906.com for all the support that they have for Nerditudes and for a lot of different leagues out there. He's huge into the sim racing world, check out their sim racing gloves as well. #1 in the business. MartinSports906.com. Super nerd to check out for a whopping 25% off. And as you see on your screen, too, the number 13, Chris Stouffer, also making his pit stop. Looks like the 14, Lane Allen, is also in. So got a couple people starting to take advantage of those green flag stops a little early on.
Yeah, I think that's Sylvain Jolly there, Wayne Allen. I think he's still. I think he's done with this race, Jeremy. I think he's kind of just looking around, watching this race from the garage. He's sitting 47 laps down, but Sylvain Jolly's actually making his way off the pit road, and I see the 21 of Jeff Langston coming down as well.
Jonathan Varnaska is also in that number 27, all making their pit stop. So we got about 5 or 6 trucks that have come down at this point, making their probably one and only green flag stop if it goes green the rest of the way. Currently on lap number 67 of scheduled 110. We see the number 88 as well, Mark DeBriel, 8th place, coming down pit road for his green flag pit stop. So we got about, looks like 9 or 10 trucks left on the to come down, and Martin Garreau as well in that number 50 Chevrolet coming down pit road.
I kind of want to see where Bobby's going to run this fuel strategy. We saw the past couple weeks here where fuel strategies played a part, where we had the one stop pit last week. We kind of see these guys stretching it out and not losing much time. We know the 86er of Nicholas Casey's got a fast truck. In general, he's been around top 5 once he got up there, starting in 18th. So we'll see how much ground he can gain. He came in, I believe he was in that 5th position. So after these cycle through, we'll see where he ends up. But it might be a smart call, like you mentioned earlier, or it could backfire. So we'll see where it plays out.
Yeah, the only time will tell. And Darlington, I was comparing the lap times really, and he's just over a second faster than Bobby Terrell. It's 1 second a lap. So the more that Bobby keeps out there, it's a second. It's going to add up quick. So he's going to get that favor turned around whenever he does make a pit stop, and then he'll be, a few tenths faster every lap. So we'll see exactly how that plays out. Being on lap number 69, it looks like at this point, or actually lap 70 of scheduled 110. So that's 41 laps to go before this thing is all said and done. But right now, Bobby Terrell is still putting on a pace. He's up to 6 seconds over Chuck Sweeting in that 75. Brody Hanna is actually falling back to 8.2 seconds. So it looks like his truck needs some work on that long run.
And it's, this is where the battle comes in. You're trying to get some speed still going on these tires. You have guys that have made their pit stop that's on faster tires, so you're trying to run your line still. Make some speed and be good on the tires, but these guys coming up behind you, you're letting them go. So this time of the race, Jeremy, it's a lot of mirror driving and paying attention, like you see here. Bobby Terrell. Actually, Bobby Terrell's coming down pit road right now, so your race leader ducking off. And I think Chuck Sweeting's going to be following in behind him as well.
Picture perfect stop there for Bobby Terrell entering pit road. That's exactly what he needed to capitalize his really dominant run at this point. And yeah, Chuck Sweeting as well on that pit road, as you mentioned. And he's going to come in for his one and only stop. He's going to give it 40 laps of just, hammer down and try to make up the most he can. Let's see if he can gain any time on this pit stop, because that's about the only place you're going to find some ground on Mr. Bobby Terrell at this point.
Yeah, it's, we'll see if make sure no one overshoots their pitch. Bobby's taking it nice and easy, coming in nice and smooth, not pushing anything, because no reason to push it anyways, because the amount that he came in on Chuck, even if he makes a second or so mishap, he'll still have a good little pace to pull out. Brody Hanna's still out there on the tires. He hasn't come down pit road. I expect him to come down soon. The one I want to see play out, though, Jeremy, is I want to see where him and Nicholas Casey kind of cycle through with these pit stops. Like you mentioned, he was gaining a second a lap, and a lot. That's a lot. A second a lap can come real quick.
Yeah, and that was about 10 laps he was out there, so that's roughly 10 seconds he was gaining. So when these guys cycle through, Casey, I think, was over 10 seconds back of the race leader, so I don't think he'll be at the point, but he'll be close to it. Right now, he's currently sitting in 6th place. He did pit when he was in 13th, so he's already gained 7 positions since the Aero Mouse, for the most part, has come off pit road. You see the number 1, Kevin Rupert, as well, and that Ford F-150 making his green flag stop of the evening. So we just got a couple more drivers left before this thing is fully cycled through.
And we see Brody Hanna's going to give up that position. Richie Coy was sitting in 2nd, so I think he's still going to be out there running a few more laps. We know Richie can go on the long run and still keep that speed and keep those tires fresh. He's done it multiple times. You saw it firsthand. at the Xfinity race. We saw it earlier this week. We saw it last week, so it's not uncommon for him. Simon Maggins still out there. He's going to be running, third place starts 17th. Kevin Rupert, that whole group right there, Jeremy, that we're seeing on this leaderboard, just where they're positioned at now. Kevin Rupert, Nicholas Casey, Tony Solari, Simon Maggin. Look at all those starting in the later teens and 20th position, and now they're all running top 6. So great run for those guys, but we'll see where this all cycles through as you see Bobby Trail go by Tony Solari there with no problem.
I got to correct myself. It looked like Nicholas Casey did better than what I thought he did on pit road. He actually did pass Bobby Terrell temporarily. So once everyone does cycle and go down pit road, Nicholas Casey should be your one of your race leaders here.
At 4.5 seconds too.
Yeah, he's in third place, 4.5 seconds over Bobby Terrell in that number 4. So this is the first time Mr. Bobby has found himself not in the lead. But I'm sure he's going to make some quick work of it, with the time that he has given. But yeah, that little over a second a lap definitely kind of put a little damper in his pace, but I'm sure he'll be back up there.
And it'll be fun watching him make his way up through the field. I mean, he's still sitting still about the same, Jeremy Ford. He might have even lost a couple of spots there on Nicholas Casey. So I'm going to be watching, see what Bobby Terrell can do. I mean, you mentioned there's only going to be about 33 laps that we're going to have left here, so not much time when you really think about it. That's only that's about 15 minutes, so that's coming down to the wire here. So he better get going and get that thing in gear and see what he can do. And of course Nicholas has, you said, about 10 laps, I think, fresher tire or older tires on him. So once his start wearing off, you'll see Bobby Trail gain that ground back on him.
What I just noticed as you were talking there is Richie Coy missed his green flag pit stop, pit entrance. He's on pit road right now, 1 lap later, but he drove it in way too early and in turn number 3. Coming off the turn number 4 on that apron, he pushed up too far past the pit entrance wall, missed that stop at a really low pace, so he's going to lose a ton of time here as he gets his pit stop completed. We're probably going to see him a lap down because he lost so much time. You see right here, just came in way too early. I've never seen this kind of an aggressive early pit road entrance and just could not get that thing loaded up in time.
That was close too, and that hurts. I mean, he already pretty much had it drop down to the pit road speed, and then you got to throw it in gear and get back up there, and you're just losing a lot of time with that. And the pit stop, actually come down and complete the pit stop. So that's going to hurt. He was, like we mentioned, came 5th in points and then was possibly looking at maybe coming out in 3rd, but that's going to set him back and not what he wanted to have happen.
Yeah, absolutely not. So right now he's sitting 1 lap down, currently in 17th place. That's a big time ouch there from Richie Coy, but as he gets that thing regrouped, Bobby Terrell has gained 2 seconds or so on Nicholas Casey. So Nicholas Casey is leading. He got himself an extra point there for leading the lap. But right now, only 2 seconds ahead of Bobby Terrell as we are on lap number 80 of scheduled 110. So 30 laps remaining in this event. And let's see, actually, Bobby Terrell 0.8 faster that lap around. So here real shortly, we're going to see that lead change.
Yeah, we see him on there too. He's just gaining that ground pretty quick, and once he gets to him now, of course, it's a different thing to pass him, but he's coming with a head of speed, Jeremy. I mean, you can just see in the past, like I said, he was about 4.5 seconds, and just a couple of laps later, here he is right on his tail. And Jeremy, I think he gained about a whole second there on the last lap. We'll see where he comes around this one, almost. So blistering pace there by Bobby, and we know he's got the truck, so Casey's going to do as much as he can to hold him off, but there's only so much he can do. Luckily, he's got Angel Palicki right there in the middle to kind of slow him up.
This is still a win for Nicholas Casey. He came down pit road, I think it was 13th place. Right now, he's contending under 30 laps to go for the lead still. So at the end of the day, he's still going to make some spots up from doing that pit stop. So excellent call there to come down super early and take advantage of those tires and get that speed to put himself at least into a top 5 scenario. As you see that number 4 inevitably just clear the 86, no problem at all. Entering turn number 3, new leader back to Bobby Terrell.
Yeah, great call. Hopefully, like you said, he can hold off. I mean, he's sitting 14 seconds back, 13-ish seconds back there of 6th place. So if he can hold out to get that top 5, that would be a great day for him out there, and a good strategy call on the pit stops. But we see Chuck Sweeting. He's making his way up in there. Him and Bobby Terrell came down pit road at the same time. Bobby Terrell's got about 3-second lead over Chuck Sweeting, so he was able. That's about 2 seconds now. So Chuck's coming quick, but I think he's going to get around Nicholas Casey here in the next lap or two.
And as he's sighting through the field here to try to get up to that 86, I want to take this time to give the visual shout out. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we're going to bring all the action for the last 20 laps or so when we come back, so stay tuned.
Are you ready to chase the moonlight? Community-based and talent-driven, Moonlight Speed Concepts has what you need to take your iRacing experience to the next level. Founded by passionate owners that care about the community and housing some of the top setup builders and drivers on the platform, Moonlight Speed Concepts offers custom paints, driver coaching, and setups for dirt, asphalt short track racing, and eNASCAR competition. Partnered with top brands in both real world and simulation. Follow us on Facebook or visit moonlightspeed.com and find out why these businesses chase the moonlight and why you should too. Moonlight Speed Concept, where all we chase is moonlight.
Welcome back to full screen coverage of the Full Throttle Sim Racing Points Truck Series here at Darlington Raceway. Just at 20 laps remaining at the Lady in Black to square this thing away for the second to the last race of the season. Bobby Terrell has pulled himself out to a 6-second lead after he passed Nicholas Casey right before that commercial break. Nicholas Casey has dropped back to third, about a second in front of Brody Hanna. But as I mentioned, it's still a W, even though he's not getting the win. He pitted so far back, and he's still within the top 5. So I think that's an overall success from the strategy.
And I think he's going to definitely secure that top 5 as well. Kind of looking through the field and seeing where Claude Furlan, who's running 6, he's sitting about 10 seconds back of him right now. And we got 18 laps to go. I think he'll be able to hold that top 5. So it's definitely a big W for him, no matter where it plays out, as long as this thing still finishes the way it's going under green. But just an overall impressive performance by Bobby, of course. And as we see here, Brody Hanna sitting in fourth. Great run as well for him. Still keeping that top 5. But just Bobby's just on a whole nother level.
Yeah, it really is, and he's still gaining ground even over Chuck Sweeting, who has resumed in second place. He's got 6.5 tenths, or 6.4 seconds over Chuck Sweeting. Bobby Terrell does. Just to showcase perfect picture of a setup, of a run, of a strategy that Bobby's been putting on these guys. Going through the field, really, there's not really battles unless you get back to 8th and 9th right now. Kevin Rupert and Sylvain Jolly. They're kind of duking out just a few tenths away from each other, and I guess that last lap Rupert kind of pulled away a little bit. See Solari getting around Jolly there, no problems. He's on a little bit fresher tires. But outside of that, really, there's really not much of a battle going on around the field.
No, it's all spread out, single file when it gets there, and a lot of the passing and battling that we got going on is just these guys getting around the lap traffic. So other than that, like you mentioned, it's kind of just everyone just running their own race, trying to keep it out of the wall, keep from having any incidents. And some of them, we have like Jeff Langston and Martin Garreau. They're battling out for 13th right here. So those two are going to be going at it. They just had to give up some spots to Brody to go by, and that brought them a little closer. But then you still got Brody, Jeremy. He's chasing down Nicholas Casey. I think he's going to try and put Nicholas Casey back into that 4th position, and he's going to take over that podium top 3. So, as we see, it's going to be a little touch of the wall there by Nicholas. Going to slow him down, and I expect Brody Hanna to get him here the next lap by.
Yeah, most likely will. Casey's just running a little tight right now. Trying to push the issue and keep that truck up front, but he has older tires than everybody else behind him, or in front of him for that matter, so he's just kind of holding on. Doing a pretty decent job at it, too. I thought maybe Bobby's going to get a great launch off of turn number 2. Unable to do so this time. Let's see if he can make anything happen on turn number 4. But Brody, rather, he's looking a little tight himself, really. Looked like he pushed exit turn number 4 and kind of had to fall back in line. And now he's on the tail end here of Casey in turn number 2. Going to make a stab at this thing.
He's trying. You can see he's trying to get set up a different angle. He's got a nice. Whoa! Contact there as they're going down. Oh, Nicholas Casey going to be hard into the inside wall. I don't know if that's going to throw a caution out, Jeremy, because he's stuck in the wall. So I think these trucks are still going to go. It's 12 to go, and Brody's lucky that he didn't get put in the wall on that one.
Huge implications. That kind of signs, seals, and delivers his championship hopes out the window. So that's going to basically lock Bobby in as long as he can keep that thing straight. But yeah, we're going to see it on Nerd TV here, just what happened. But it looked like he made a little, I don't know, Kenny. It almost looked like he was loose, but then he saw Brody come down low and then turned into his door panel. Not too sure what was going on there, but the truck looked like it was pretty steady before they made contact.
I'm thinking it was a little net code, Jeremy, and he even Nicholas came on and said he's thinking the same thing, but I was watching it from the rear chase, and his wheel doesn't turn at all. You can see it turn a little bit, and as soon as they make contact, I think we have a little net code, but that is going to, as you mentioned, signed, sealed, delivered. As long as Bobby Trail can finish off these last couple of laps, that's going to be a nice ease, but that's unfortunate for Nicholas Casey, as it looked like it was just a little bit of a net code issue. We'll have to take a look here on their TV.
Yeah, watch that seam right there that he's on top of. You see Brody come down just to the inside here, getting some side draft. And actually, you know what? Yeah, I think Brody of the hit box or of the net code, actually looked like from that angle that Dustin provided, he touched the left rear just a hair, just enough to upset that truck to turn him down left. That's probably why you didn't see his wheel turn and he turned left. And then the wall glitch right there just kind of sucked him in and locked him into his fate right there. But right now he's getting his toe. It's going to put him multiple laps down. Super unfortunate to see for your second place contender, Mr. Nicholas Casey.
But you know who's very happy that was not a caution is your very sweeter right now, Bobby Trail, who's just Western pace 7 seconds ahead. That was about 11 laps ago. Now we're sitting at 9 to go, coming to 8 to go this time by. So he's super happy that did not bring out a caution, because if that wall did not grab Nicholas Casey, he might have went up the track a little bit, and that sure would have brought out a yellow. So Bobby's nice to see that. Not so much for the other guys, but But Bobby's really enjoying it as we're coming around to about 7 to go, Jeremy, and he's 7 laps away from possibly sealing up this championship already.
Yeah, I think he's basically got this thing sealed up. Third place in points coming into this event, Simon Magden, 40 points out. Right now, Simon is running 1 lap down, 15th position. That's going to put him like 50-some points out. And with Nicholas Casey in that incident right there, throws him back to 16th. So yeah, if the checker falls right now, or if, Bobby gives up a couple spots, he still has this thing 100% locked in. After really, if he completes the next couple laps, he's going to have this thing locked in for sure. But yeah, impressive stuff by Bobby. So all but congratulations on the championship. We'll have to wait for the next 6 more laps. But basically, Kenny, he cannot even show up to next week's event and take home the W for the season.
Yeah, no problems on that one. And that's what he needs to do, the same thing next season so he doesn't have to worry about it at Daytona. But, great overall season for Bobby. We'll just hope we can finish out these next 5 laps and not have any issues. And so, like you mentioned, even if something does happen, with those guys being out, the closest one then at that point was Richie Coy, and I think he's sitting 14th. So the 3 they had to worry about sitting 14th, 15th, and 16th. So pretty much all but sign, seal, deliver. And, we're coming around. We're going to have 4 laps to go for the 4 for the 4 truck. No one in sight. Chuck Sweeting's about 10 seconds back. And, he's lapped pretty much a good amount of the field too, Jeremy. We got 6 trucks on the lead lap.
Only 6 trucks, and this is just you can't paint a better picture coming into the final race. Having that thing locked up, virtue of the 3 contenders that may have a chance at you finishing 14th, 15th, and 16th. There is 4 laps to go for this number 4 of Mr. Bobby Tyrrell, as he's starting to fight a little bit of lap traffic here with Tony Solari, about a truck length ahead. Solari wisely gives that up. Bobby gives him the wave out the window saying thank you. Tons of room in the world. The turn number 3 this time. This is going to bring him 3 laps remaining at Darlington.
Yeah, that was a good, this guy, all these guys here are just respectful and great league overall. As we mentioned a couple different times, and I meant to mention this earlier, Jeremy, and I never got a chance when you were mentioning all the different series that we got going on. The ARCA series is going to be moving from Tuesday night to Thursday night, so we got they went ahead and got rid of the Xfinity and moved the ARCA over to Thursday. So just anyone that's looking to start up on the next season, look forward to having the ARCAs running on Thursday night.
That's a good night too. For the ARCA series. I'm a big fan of those cars. Would love to run some races with these guys at Full Throttle, because FG seen time in and time out how respectful they are of one another. Around the group of guys to hang out with. So speaking of which, shout out to the league before this thing's over, FTSR.net. We got 2 weeks, 3 weeks away, I think. 3 weeks before the next season are underway for 4 different series coming up: Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday. So a little bit of everything that you need. But white flag is out at number 4. Just kind of putting this thing in cruise control one more time around 1 and 2. No one around him. Keeping it clean off the wall there. No problem. Got 2 more corners left. Comes into turn number 3. Grazes it into the corner. Not really pushing the issue. And then coming off of turn number 4, May the 4th be with you. Bobby Tyrrell wins the Truck Series event at Darlington and the Series Championship.
What a great performance. Just smoked the field. He's 12 seconds ahead of everyone else. Had a great setup tonight. Definitely knows how to get around this place. Great overall season, as you mentioned, taking the championship. We're going to see Chuck Sweeting. He's going to go ahead and bring that thing home in 2nd place. Brody Hanna is going to come home in 3rd. Christopher is going to be in 4th. And to round out your top 5, Claude Furlan. We had a little swap there for the position for 4th and 5th between Chris and Claude.
Yeah, the last minute pass there put Christopher into 4th place. Claude still secures top 5 on the stat page by coming in exactly in 5th place. And only 6 total drivers, Kenny, made it on the lead lap. But as you see, Bobby Tyrrell's doing a burnout for 2 reasons: for winning the Darlington 150, and he locks in that series championship. There is nothing that could go wrong to cost him the championship at this point. He is locked in over a 50-point lead. So congratulations to Bobby Tyrrell on an excellent season to this point. And next week's just going to be a fun free-for-all for him.
Yeah, that's nice. I mean, essentially, because we're going to get a week off between this season to next season, and that, for Bobby, that's going to give him 2 weeks off, so he can kind of sit back and relax next week and just have fun out there, and no stress involved, and have a week to celebrate officially winning the championship, and then start on to the next one. So, congratulations to Bobby, and can't wait to see what he can do. You know, next week's gonna be real good because, like you mentioned, nothing to worry about. So I can't wait to see what setup he brings.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. And let's go ahead and go over the leaderboard here for the finishing results of tonight's Darlington 150, presented by Sim Racing Points. Bobby Tyrrell takes home the trophy for the race and the championship tonight. Chuck Sweeting does finish second place. Brody Hanna tops off in third place. Chris Stouffer fourth. Claude Furlan takes home top 5. Kevin Rupert 6th. Jonathan Varanoskis in 7th. Andrew Pulicki 8th. Kenneth Scholes in 9th. And to round out the top 10, Mark Dubril.
11th is going to be Sylvain Jolly. 12th, Martin Garreau. 13th, Simon Madigan. 14th is going to be Richie Coy. 15th is Jeff Langston. 16th, Tony Solari. 17th, Nicholas Casey. Wayne Grassi coming home 18th. 19th is going to be Gil Gawk. 20th is Stephen Verman. 21st is Alex Murphy. 22nd, going to be Sherwood Wilford. 23rd, Lane Allen. And to round out your field, and 24th is Tommy Braden.
And with that, yeah, we got you there, Tommy Brandon. And to that's going to bring in the Martin Sports post-race event, a recap, what the top 3 think of tonight's event, and to get thoughts on tonight's winner, Mr. Bobby Tyrrell, on everything that he has accomplished tonight. First and foremost, we're going to bring in third place, as we always do. This time being that number 23, Mr. Brody Hanna. Finishes third tonight. Mr. Brody, got a copy?
Yeah, I got you guys.
Hey, man, congratulations on that podium finish in third. You were running second and third all night long for the most part and able to secure the podium, man. So congratulations. What did you think going into this event? Did you think it was going to be a tricky one? Did you think you had a pretty solid setup? Like, what was your thoughts going in?
Well, let me before we even get into, let me stop and say this. You know, iRacing releasing all these tracks and these cars and these updates. How about they work on their netcode? How about they work on their maybe work on their tire, maybe their track model, maybe give us some dynamic tracks and multi-groove stuff. I'm tired of seeing iRacing release stuff and not address the core issues in the game. So I just want to go ahead and say that and get that out of the way first. But yes, tonight we I felt like I had a strong truck. I felt like I had a top 5 truck, which is where we finished. And if it wouldn't have been for the netcode that iRacing seems to ignore or just can't fix, they're incompetent. I don't know what. Was unable to catch Chuck there at the end. But good run for Chuck, and congratulations to Bobby. He was dominant. I didn't have anything for him. We had a solid night. I mean, we had a good night, but it just sucks that iRacing wants to ignore the real problems.
Yeah, we're assuming that you're talking about that real mishap there with the 86, and yeah, that's what it looked like, a little bit of netcode there, and yeah, that's unfortunate for Nicholas there to go out that way. Nothing between you two. It's just unfortunate, like you mentioned, netcode that just slowly, hopefully they're working their way towards it. But nice save as far as when that happened there to kind of secure up that top 3. Do you think you would have had enough for Chuck there if that little mishap with the netcode wouldn't have happened?
Oh, absolutely. I was coming. I think I could have got second. The way Chuck looked like Chuck was kind of falling off, or either maybe he was taking it easy. I don't know, but I felt like I could have got up there. But a third place is still a good run. And honestly, I wanted to say too that there's no hard feelings with Nicholas Casey. We talked after the race, and it sucks. It really sucks for him that it took him all the way down to 17th place. That kind of. But yeah, when we hit. I guess it messed the truck up pretty good. I went into turn 3 and it just did not turn. And I probably got more damage off hitting the wall in 3 than I did our contact. It just would not turn. So, but I'm frustrated with iRacing, but I'm not upset with tonight. Tonight seemed to be a pretty good race. I enjoyed it. It was fun. There was some good racing out there. And again, congratulations to Chuck and Bobby up there.
Yeah, Dustin was producing some really good angles of that incident, and I mean, he zoomed in right where the contact would have been, and there was definitely probably 5 to 6 inches of gap there when that slight contact was made. So,
Well,
but you're not wrong though. The net code is a huge problem. It's been around forever. Has it got better? Sure, in some aspects, but it's definitely not where it needs to be, especially on a Premier Sim, right?
and I do want to say I take some responsibility. I was too close to him. I don't know why in the world we were so close there down the back stretch. I pulled out to make a pass, and for some reason I didn't pull out as far as I really should have or needed to. So it's kind of part of that's on me too. But really, I mean, I'm not the only one saying these issues with the net code, but just seems like they just can't seem to get that worked out.
And turn into a positive note here too. We looking forward to next season. You guys over there at Full Throttle Sim Racing have put together an awesome set of schedules for the ARCA series. I know you follow the real life schedule in the truck and cup. So what's FTSR looking like for next season?
Well, I was actually going to work on the official announcement tonight after the race because it's kind of been a busy day for me. I haven't got around to it yet, so I'm going to put all that together. But we'll be sticking with truck and cup where they are, and with you guys, and looking forward to that. And then ARCA's actually going to be moving to Thursday night. We are going to keep the ARCA car, but we're going to move from Tuesday to Thursday to give everybody a break between truck and cup. We're going to do some fun stuff on Saturday, and I really hadn't said much about it yet, but we're going to do some stadium super trucks at some road courses, and we're going to take the Lotus 79 on every other weekend and have some fun with it too. So looking forward to a lot of fun racing next season, and yeah, I'm not, again tonight had a good race, had fun, a lot better than last week. I'm sure you guys are aware of that debacle. We just were not prepared for last week, so it's a good rebound.
Yeah, and you did a nice little soft release there by kind of throwing out the schedule on the website, and then we kind of took your spotlight there. So, but needless to that matter, though, before we let you go for tonight, anyone out there that's watching on Nerd TV, they'd love to give a shout out to.
Yeah, I mean, overall, I just got to thank everybody that runs here, calls FTSR home. Got some great drivers out there. Thanks for a great 2020A season, or 2022A. Sorry, I'm 2 years behind. 2022A season. Looking forward to 2022B with some more, some more exciting racing. So glad to have you guys on board as well. Got to thank you guys for what you do for the league, and also thank my teammates for working hard and working with us there.
Yes, sir. Appreciate all the kind words, and we're glad to be back for 2022 Season B. Go and celebrate with the team, man. Congratulations once again for getting a podium finish in third place.
All right, thanks, guys.
You got it. That was your third place finisher in the number 23, Mr. Brody Hanna. It's time to bring in Mr. Chuck Sweeting, who did finish second this evening. Mr. Chuck, you got a copy.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
It's going pretty good up here, I would say. You look like your Chuck was running pretty darn fast, I would say myself, and kind of secured in the second place. Just kind of time. It looks like you didn't have to, go through too many issues on the racetrack. We saw a couple early wrecks, and everything was clear of your end, and you hit your pit stops. And just overall, what's your thoughts of this race tonight?
I don't know. Second fast. Bobby was just he was the class of field all night, which isn't unusual for him. But yeah, I could almost maintain, but he was just a tick faster than me, and the harder I tried, the more I wore my tires, and the more he'd get away from me. So, but second place isn't too bad. We were pretty good. I struggled a little bit in dirty air, and it get tight and then get tighter if I stayed behind somebody for too long. But overall, not a bad night.
Yeah, and you see that when you're in the open air that it was definitely better for your setup there. And speaking of setups, how did you have that setup tuned in today? I feel like as that kind of the race got later and the run got longer, that truck came in a little bit more, except for, of course, when you were talking about pushing it a little harder. But do you feel like that's kind of how your setup was set up tonight?
Yeah, it was a little bit tight at the start, and so I took a little bit of wedge out of it when we had that first caution. and I think that helped it. And I don't know if I probably could have done something different in the garage rather than during the race. I might have been able to keep up with Bobby, but it was just a tick off, and the adjustments helped. And but yeah, I just had to be careful. I got behind somebody; it would get tight, and it's real easy to slide up into the wall here. So didn't want to do that.
Yeah, congratulations again, though, on that Gator Racing Chevrolet getting in second place for this evening. Before we let you go and have you celebrate with everybody, anyone that's watching on Nerd TV you'd love to give a shout out to?
Yeah, just thanks to Joy for everything she does. Thanks to Gil for all the work he does all week, and of course Brody with all the work he does with the league. And yeah, it's been a good season, so we'll keep working and try to get a little bit better.
Yes, sir. You're making some good strides, and looks like next season's going to be promising for you. So keep that work up, and we'll see you here on Monday.
All right, thanks a lot, guys.
You got it. Was that number 75 Gator Racing Chevrolet of Mr. Chuck Sweeting? And now there's only one person left to talk to. It might be someone pretty important in this truck series who is take home the W for tonight for two reasons. For the race, the Darlington 150, and for the season championship. It is locked in, Mr. Bobby. It is all yours. Congratulations on an excellent season, an excellent race tonight. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Now that you told me that, I didn't think it was locked in, but that's good.
30 points entering this event over second place of Nicholas Casey. Nicholas had that late race wreck, put him back in 14th. And all your people inside the top five in points finished 14th, 15th, and 16th. So you're going to have over a 50-point lead entering the final race, which there is no way at all you're going to lose 50 points over second place. So that does lock you in, man. So kind of broke that news to you, but congratulations.
Wow, thanks. Yeah, that's crazy, man. The way the season started, I mean, like, and with these drivers, I mean, they're so good, and it's like I started off like 26, I think 10th, 11th, and then like I said, I got a little momentum going and got some top fives, and I think that just helped me. And then I had some good tracks, later on in the schedule that I thought that I would, be better at.
Yeah, it definitely can. I mean, the beginning of the race, Daytona is always up in there, but like you mentioned, it started out not on the best of it, but I think you've rolled out probably about 7 top 10s in a row there at one point, and that's going to give you your third win this season. So definitely after you got rolling there, the season just kept going, and you put it on tonight. I mean, you showed it. You fastest in practice, fastest in qualifying, fastest in the race. Would have led every lap except for the green flag pit stop. So you just class of the field tonight. And how'd that truck feel? It looks like you weren't really putting in too much effort and just kind of on a rail through the whole night.
Oh, the truck was so good, man. It was a little on the snug side, just a little bit, but not bad. And I'd rather have it a little snug than just a little too loose. So, but the truck was, I mean, like I said, it was on point tonight. I can't complain. And it helps when you've got clear air, clear air too. So that made it a little better too.
Yeah, absolutely does for sure, man. That fresh air is crucial in some tracks, and I think Darlington's one of those tracks where you're getting so close to that wall, you don't need any air turbulence to kind of throw you into that wall. So, that being said, once again, congratulations on everything that you've achieved tonight and for the season. Anyone out there on Nerd TV that's watching, you'd love to give a shout out to?
Well, just thank you guys in the booth for doing this every week, and the broadcast. Y'all do an excellent job. And then Brody and the admins for giving us a place to race. If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have a place to race. So shout out to them. And shout out to all the drivers, man. What a season. A lot of guys gave me a lot of room. I just appreciate it. And thanks a lot, guys.
Yes, sir. Appreciate all the kind words for sure, and go ahead and celebrate, man. The championship's yours. Next week, you just have to show up. You don't really have to show up, but it's just a little fun joyride for you. So, yeah, go and enjoy the week, and we will catch you on Monday.
All right, man. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome. That was your race winner, the Darlington 150, and your 2022 Season A championship winner in the Sim Racing Points Truck Series. One race left, Kenny. That's Kansas. Let's see who can take over Kansas. But before we head on out, I'd love to give a shout out to, once again, all of our sponsors that allow us to do this for you guys. To have us do this for you every Monday and Wednesday night at Full Throttle Sim Racing League, on Nerd TV. To the league, thank you once again, as always. FTSR.net. Please register. You heard Brody talk about the seasons a little bit. You heard us talk about it during the event. Be a part of the action. And there's fixed setup action on the Saturday and Thursday stuff. It's open setups on Monday and Wednesday. Just a great group of guys to race with. You hear nothing but appraisal from everybody we interview. So FTSR.net. Sim Racing Points. Quick thank you to them for being a partner of Nerditudes and the Full Throttle Sim Racing. And their stuff, if you go to FTSR.net, look at their series pages. The quality, all the stats, everything that they do in a clean manner. Doesn't get much better than that. So simracingpoints.com, check out all their price options. And then Martin Sports, home of the sim gloves of all of sim racing. The most breathable and durable gloves on the market. And they also make t-shirts, hoodies, hats, and go to that Nerd Swag lineup on the partners page. There's awesome gauntlet gloves coming from Nerditudes exclusively. Super awesome product. And when you go to martinsports906.com, make sure to use Super Nerd at checkout for 25% off. iRacing iFlag. Go to iRacingIFlag.com. Anything in your shopping cart over there, use Super Nerd at checkout, 15% off of all their products. Essentially, it's that LED light system that it's your spotter. It's basically your guidance around the track at a much more manageable little 4x6 3D printed object that sits on your desk. Does all the work from your spotter from the flag stand on your desk there. So it's iRacingIFlag.com. Once again, Super Nerd at checkout, 15% off. And then thebuttkicker.com. Appreciate you guys for being the official audio enhancement provider of Nerditudes. It's that sim racers much needed feel in the seat to perform at your peak performance. So head over to thebuttkicker.com. Use Nerd TV rather, for 20% off on their products. Thank you. Quick shout out to Nerd Focus. Go to nerdfocus.com. Use Super Nerd at checkout for 10% off their 2 drinks. Moonlight Speed Concepts for anything professional asphalt setups related. Great prices on professional setups. That's guaranteed to get you a W. And then also, if you're watching that, if you like the dirt stuff, houseofspeed.us. Same deal. Professional setups on all the oval dirt stuff. So please give them a look. I'm on their websites or on Twitter. Great community on their Discord as well. And those setups are guaranteed to get you at least 1 or 2 Ws. All right. That leaves us Monday when the Cup Series takes over Darlington for their second to last race of Season A for 2022. Until then, as always, you guys stay safe out there and make sure, as always as well, to get your nerd on.
Later, nerds.
May the 4th be with you.